ดีค่ะ Hello everyone. Welcome everyone back here in Bitcoin Learning Center. For those who never been here and this is your first time, welcome. And I am Phai, a co-founder and director of Bitcoin Chiang Mai. I'm a part-time professor for 10 years at the university. So my part going to focus on Bitcoin education. Why education? Because I believe that education is powerful and can change this country. Especially in financial inclusion, it will change our country, Thailand, to be better. So this year, we focus on education. So we went to three major universities in Chiang Mai. In January, we went to Faculty of Engineering, CMU, Chiang Mai University, which is the best university in northern of Thailand. We went there with Jimmy and Stefan here. Stefan, he's the one who orange peeled to me. And every time when I teach in the university, I always invite him as a guest speaker because we believe that his knowledge and his experience will enlighten people, especially the young generation, to know more about financial inclusion. So we went there at the Faculty of Engineering. We went to IC, International College, Chiang Mai Ratchapat University, which endorsed by the government, and we went to Payap University. So we talk about what is the problem, what is the inflation, and how Bitcoin can solve this problem. So this is, I think it's from Payap University, and this allows us to meet many students around Southeast Asia. Some students from Myanmar, some students from Laos, from Philippines, and this is very powerful because it's not just only Thai students, but it's also the students in Southeast Asia. We also visit the Tokyo Bitcoin base in Japan. They just opened their Bitcoin base, and we met Win from HRF. We met Ella from Cornell University. We met many people from Switzerland, Plan B. And we also discussed about how we can collaborate and help each other to focus on financial inclusion, especially in the high school in Chiang Mai and the university in Thailand. Also, we work closely with the local government, which is Dr. Cho. Dr. Cho is now here. He's a deputy of mayor or PAO, Provincial Authorization Organization in Chiang Mai. So Dr. Cho demonstrated that the technology and financial inclusion is very important and can drive this city. So we took him to International College, Chiang Mai Ratchapat University, which is the university that I worked for 10 years. And we met the dean and all the head departments that we talked that how we can help this city to understand more about financial literacy. We work sometime, we visit him in the city hall and talk about the event that will happen soon in this year, and Jimmy going to cover this. Yes, we talk about the Bitcoin Half Marathon and Festival in November 2025. This is going to be the first Bitcoin marathon in this world, and you can see the t-shirt here. It's going to be 21K, 10K, and 5K. This event, we're going to collaborate with the city, and we're going to do the event called Innovate Chiang Mai. So as you guys know that Chiang Mai has a potential to grow, especially in technology firm. So we would like to brand Chiang Mai to as a technology city. So this is our collaboration. Sometimes, we have a small meetup with people in Bangkok. We call Rightship Team. Rightship Team is a very strong education agency in Thailand. They do the classroom for Bitcoin, and they also do the media for Bitcoin too. So this is a big collaboration for Bitcoin community in Thailand. Yesterday, it just happened yesterday, we went to the City Hall and we educate the government officers, and this is like the first door that opened to us to work with the government. And it's very surprised that some of the government officer already show that he's a Bitcoiner. So it's pretty cool that our city, sometimes Bitcoiners feel like, oh, I don't want to work with the government, against the government. But if we want to drive this city, we have to collaborate together. We have to educate everyone to understand more about how Bitcoin can change our city. Yes, we're still working on the academic research. We work with the disadvantaged community in Omgoi, Hot Doi Tao, which is, I would say that is the poorest city in Chiang Mai and probably in Thailand too. So this research will prove that technology can help to help the disadvantaged community to upskill or up level of their economic status. And if Bitcoin is good enough, Bitcoin supposed to help poor people too. Okay, so yes, this is all my part. And the next part, as I mentioned that we work with the government, the local government here, I would like to invite Dr. Joe to show his idea or his mission in this year. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Joe. Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. Actually, P5 already conclude everything that in my mind and very good conclusion. So, in my part, nowadays I'm working as the deputy president of PAO, or we call Chiang Mai Administration Office, which is elected team to govern Chiang Mai. Chiang Mai ourselves, we have the budget yearly about 2 billion baht. Yearly is about 80 billion US dollars. So personally, I work for PAO as a part of finance and new economy, and also in healthcare. So in my role, I have announced with Jimmy and P5 that this year we will support several programs. First of all, PAO, we will support the Bitcoin Marathon in this November, which is the Run for Freedom program that Jimmy and P5 have very internal motivation to do this event, to make it happen. And PAO, we have the land, we have a place to support the event to make it happen, to have the half marathon. And the second one, we support the finance education. We can call it a modern finance education. So we have talked with the CMIU, and internally we have opened the door for Bitcoin Learning Center Chiang Mai to train and give the education for Bitcoiners in Chiang Mai PO office. Actually, we have about 1,000 people in the office, and yesterday we have like 30% that were in the room and learn about Bitcoin and modern finance education. So we have an idea that if the internal people in Chiang Mai government have the right mindset about the new finance system, so they will support along the route of our goal, our mission to make it happen along with our Bitcoin half marathon as well. And the third one, we have announced that this year we will have the program we call Innovate Chiang Mai. Innovate Chiang Mai is the program that we like to change the landscape of the new economy in Chiang Mai. First of all, we have collaborated with the government sector. we would like to have the government involved in the level of ministry to join the event. So we have an idea that this year the government have an idea to have Phuket as a sandbox for Bitcoin. So why not Chiang Mai? We also have a lot of people working in the Bitcoin ecosystem in Chiang Mai and blockchain ecosystem in Chiang Mai. We have Block Mountain. Block Mountain every year is the biggest blockchain event in Thailand, happen in Chiang Mai in January and February. So this year we will convince the government to have an involvement in Innovate Chiang Mai, which firstly they will involve in the program in this November as well. The second part is the local community. We would like to promote the local community like BLC or any other community that are working in the Bitcoin ecosystem. Like in the Innovate Chiang Mai, we have the booths and small activity that Phuket called Bitcoin Village, that we will have simulation that you can spend to buy some stuff using Bitcoin, something like that. This is the global community. And the third one is the global outlook. We would like to rebrand the Chiang Mai. This year, Chiang Mai will be 730 years of heritage of Chiang Mai. It's seven centuries. So Chiang Mai is not just the brick and the old city. So we have evolved to the new ecosystem of the innovation and technology. So city branding of Chiang Mai is the new mission of our government part. We would like to rebrand the city that more than just the heritage, but it's beyond. It's about innovation, and it's about the ecosystem of some finance, some modern finance system. This is the part that PAO, or the biggest local government in Chiang Mai, that we take care 25 districts that we are gonna do this year and another next year as well. Okay, thank you so much.
Sound good? Nice, that's awesome. I mean, wow, look at us now. We have the deputy mayor here. We're in the universities with P5. We're trying to make the city better and stronger. We're coming together, Block Mountains here. A lot of people here in different fields. It's really inspiring to see. Super, super powerful. And when just listening to Phai's presentation, a lot of times I'm standing, in there and I don't see it, and I'm sitting watching, saying, it's amazing what we've achieved in just 6 months, a year and a half since we started. So I'm going to go through what I'm looking at the clock over there. I can kind of see it. It's 2:21, so we'll be done here by 3 o'clock about. And then we could ask some questions and answers. Last night when they did BitDevs, questions and answers went like an hour. So maybe if you have one or two, that's cool. So again, thank you, Dr. Joe, for being here. And thank you, P5, for all the work you do for Thailand, Chiang Mai, and our small business. So this is, I actually had long hair when we started doing this. I don't really anymore. I cut it off. And it's for 7 years, so I'm feeling it. Every time I shower, I'm looking for the rubber band. So we started working, as Phai mentioned, and Dr. Joe mentioned, with the city on digital innovation, basic savings, modern finance, talking about how we could get this further and deeper in the city. What is the strongest, the best approach? And so we started saying, okay, let's work on a pilot program. We're going to go around. We're going to go to Tokyo. I'll get there. We're going to talk to people and get the best material from Switzerland, Plan B, all sorts of locations. So we started. This is one of the first photos that Eve got. Just a few weeks ago, we had a community leaders meetup. I think it was about a month ago when Human Rights Foundation was here. It's pretty crazy to see these faces. And this was Dr. Joe came here and said, hey, he really wants to be part of digital innovation. He doesn't want Chiang Mai to be left behind. He's forward thinking. He's very big into AI, and he's an entrepreneur here. He wants to drive the city, and he said, hey, we could team up with you and you guys could be our financial arm because you understand these digital assets really well. So we said, let's do this together. So it's not about a single occurrence. When we started working with the city, we came with one mission. We wanted to have a marathon and festival. But then we realized this is way bigger than people think. We need the top race organizer. We need a festival partner. Kate's in the front seat here. Kate's here. And her team. And we needed collaboration with the city. We needed zoning things. We need power things. I mean, so when Dr. Joe sat down with us, he's like, this needs to be, this is more of an ongoing, continuous, collaborative effort. It's just not about an event anymore. It's about how we can come together. So every 2 weeks, we go to the city office, we sit down at a scheduled time, we discuss the details moving forward. So it's in a very organized and understood fashion, and it's just remarkable. So I'm just so proud of everybody. And thank you for trusting us in the work we do. So like Fai had mentioned, the last few days of April, we went to see our friends in Tokyo. Taruko was here last night. They opened up Bitcoin Base Tokyo, which is it's actually 5 floors. This is, there's a 4th floor up here. It's like an open lounge. And then this is huge. Inside they have like these big glass offices for co-working. And then there's a replica on the 2nd floor. And in the center of every floor is like a big community area. And they put tons of money into it. But they don't have anybody there yet. So they like built it and hope people will come. So we really want to support our friends in Tokyo. It's always been in Singapore, Hong Kong, South Korea is rising. So we want to support our friends up in Tokyo. And like Fai has mentioned, we met with other international education leaders in Bitcoin and digital assets and how we could collaborate on having something universal. So who is the leader in Bitcoin education? And it's not BitCub Academy. It's not Satang Education or SCB 10X, their education research arm, or even Binance. It's RightShift. It's these guys down in Bangkok. They all volunteer. They're all hardcore Bitcoiners, and they are driving education. We have much admiration for them. Just last week, we went down to visit their grand opening of Citadel Coffee, just to support them. 100 Bitcoiners down there. We talked to some of the leadership that built RightShift, and I can't stress enough how important it is to support the people that started this in Thailand. They created a flame for us, and we want to keep that going. Oh, I got this, man. I got this. That's awesome. So this week also, Bitcoiners from Northern Thailand, and I'm looking around, we do a replica of this in Thai the next day, tomorrow, which is crazy. So they'll be here tomorrow. But it's really cool to see, this is Farm, and that's Mon. Obviously, you guys know Eve. We didn't say, hey, wear Bitcoin Chiang Mai shirts. Like, they wanted to. I saw this photo, I'm like, man, dude, this is really inspiring. It's really cool to see, like, they're proud of what they're building up here. They're proud of the momentum. They're proud of all the efforts everyone's doing. So super inspiring. I wanted to include that photo. And it's really great to watch everyone learn too. I'll talk about that in a second. She'll have to watch this on video. Ploy is here from Tether, the representative of Southeast Asia. Actually, that's Ploy right there. Okay. I was just mentioning that Ploy from Southeast Asia is here. As you know, Tether, you can see Tether's our title sponsor. And we're really excited to work with Tether. They're a grassroots effort company. And when people ask how big is Tether? I try to think how I could explain it. And the top 2 largest companies in Thailand are PTT and SCB. They're both $26 billion companies. Tether's market cap is $150 billion. Another way to say it is the market cap, the GDP of Thailand is like 550 billion. Tether is $150 billion. And they're growing extremely fast. And to keep the message on brand, The company protocol and policy is that Paolo is the one to deliver public speaking and for recording purposes. So I said, hey, Ploy, is there anything I could mention that you'd like me to mention? And she just said, I'll just touch the top 3 points. So just 4 points actually. So the regulatory approval, USDT is approved by Thai SEC, which is a significant milestone, especially strengthening the country's position as a leader in digital assets in Southeast Asia. Their commitment to Thailand is quoted by Paolo, their CEO. They're committed to supporting the long-term success and adoption of stablecoins in Thailand and look forward to contributing to the growth of the country's digital asset ecosystem by fostering a strong and sustainable stablecoin infrastructure. This is awesome. So I'm sure most of you in this room understand or you're aware of USDT as a payment solution, especially here in Southeast Asia or Asian countries where cross-border remittance is so important. It might not be important to America that has the dollar, but out there there's real problems like Laos, like Burma, like we'll talk about in a few minutes. So it's really inspiring to see. They're a Bitcoin company. It's not like other stablecoins that are a replica of the same people that built the fiat system are doing it, like Circle, all the other ones. But they're a Bitcoin company. They have over 100,000 Bitcoin on the balance sheet. They just purchased 5,000 Bitcoin for 21, their new company, 21 that they're working with SoftBank and Jack Mallers' company. Super, super great to see. We're really happy to be working with them. We're really grateful for everything you guys do for us. Thank you. And Tether Gold. So if you ever try to buy gold, if you try to buy a little bit of gold, like a few thousand, like $1,000 or a few $100, there's a huge premium when you buy a little bit of gold. But there's not when you use XAUT. AU is the abbreviation for gold in the periodic table, and T is the tether, and X, I can't say. But so, yeah, and then, the Switzerland part, you could actually redeem it for physical gold. If Mark's going to Switzerland in 2 days, and you get some tether, you want to go there. It's probably a large quantity, but it's fascinating to know that now you can save in gold too if you want to get out of Bitcoin or you want to get out of dollars. So just want to touch on those 4 quick points. And again, thank you for supporting us. And last thing on Tether is, this is just on the 14th, today's the 17th. Paolo said, Bitcoin is the social network. And Jack Dorsey says, yes. So take from that what you may. Personally, I could see Tether on Bitcoin rails through Taproot. I think that's next. That makes all the sense in the world to me. But let's see how that develops. Okay, so I call this the unthinkable becomes reality. 2 years ago, collaborating with banks and universities and government was just unthinkable. It's unimaginable. We've had a Capricorn Bank reach out to us to ask us about Bitcoin education and how they could help us in our efforts. Like, what? Like, cities here? Like Tether's here? Like what's going on here? What's happening? Like, this was a fantasy. Like, I wouldn't even imagined it, right? So today, the growth unfolds daily. It's totally remarkable to me what our small team of 6 regularly does. We're working 7 days a week here. It's really wonderful. I wake up and this is what we want to do. But the question is, could we have done this without a physical hub? And a big part of this presentation is about physical hubs and why they're important. But I'm only going to spend a few minutes. So I had a big vision when I saw this building, and I leave the space here so I can remember the date was January 6, 2023. And our father had this building, and and it was like covered in green weeds and trees, and the bathrooms were like about 4 feet high. Like, I'm not exaggerating. You have to go like this and close like a little midget door, and it's kind of weird. And they just bricks are falling, and so I was like, and this is the 2nd floor. And each little room had their bathroom. It's kind of crazy. And it had not been used for 40 years. So I said, I got a fucking vision, man. So then 2 weeks later, I kept telling her about this vision, and she's thinking like, I think she's thinking here, I don't see it. You know, because she's like either thinking like, can I get rid of this guy? I don't know what's going on here. So, and then 2 weeks later, again, this is an iconic image we share in a lot of our slides, is Phi praying. And just yesterday when I practiced the slides, I think I was like, is she praying that I disappear? Because this is like totally out of control. We're like in this little toy. The neighbors don't let, you know, it's a little old area. Like it would cost millions of baht. I mean, like just no. But she was praying that the vision comes to reality. So that was January 19th, 2023. And then February came along, and that's her father, who happens to be a engineer, civil engineer, and he built this building 40 years ago, and he was all in, but it requires renovating or overhauling 3 full stories. So let's see if it's on the next one. Oh shit. Oh, Neo, I might need you. Nope, okay. So this is February 2023. 9 months later, November, we have deconstructed all 3 floors. It was totally nuts. And this is kind of what it looked like not long ago, in December of 2023. This is one of the images. The next slide is the only video today. I've learned, like, Stefan's kind of taught me as we've been presenting in colleges, like, yo, you don't need all those words, you don't need all those videos, you know what you're talking about. I'm like, thanks, bro. Actually, Stefan's one of the reasons that I moved to one of the pros and cons, because he's had the longest running Bitcoin meetup in Southeast Asia since 2016 on Thursday nights at Sababa. And when I read about that, I was like very encouraged. I just came from El Salvador, where Tether's headquarters is, and I was like, man, I really want to be around community. So that was an inspiration, so I looked for him for guidance. Let's watch this next 80 seconds about what the first floor looked like, and I'll take a little bit of a break. All right.
Starting off really, really great. These curves, floor's gonna be raised. Starting to feel really good here. Yes. So we gotta figure out these damn outlets today. This is nice. This is where we'll put some of the tech. The bathroom's getting done. I'm getting excited. I don't know, right here we might have like a very large white paper. I think like here we'll just have like, you know, a node, some books. I even got that the sophomore book from Jason Lowry before they took it down, which is cool. This is great. Wow. Okay. All right, we're coming along, man. So we can't have any venue here yet, but it's good. It's gonna be just great. In the future, we're gonna have an elevator going up to the next 2 floors for accommodations.
Is Piccolo? Is Piccolo here? Is Piccolo up here? There he is. Yeah, he talked me off the ledge. Okay, we're gonna talk about you in a second. Actually, you're the next slide, actually. So yeah, that's funny. During the early days of renovation, I would fly down to Bob's space. I'm like, dude, I gotta go down. I want to go Bitcoin focused, see what's going on down there. And he was another inspiration that made me want to build this building. So I'm like, this is fucking great, but I just can't pay to go down there every fucking Wednesday. So Piccolo's been extremely supportive of this hub since day one. He just even told us, like, as soon as you got 20 people, you know, space for 20 people to sit, I'm coming up and I'm doing Q1 bit devs. And just last night, we've had our 6th quarter of bit devs in Chiang Mai because of Piccolo and Bob's space.
A big reason sort of for us to do, or for me to come do bit devs here is, you know, the standing co-hosts actually live here, right? So Roland, wherever you are, Luke, Charles, and Neil, obviously. And again, those guys have been great because down in Bangkok, we have developers, but we don't really
And your cars.
Yeah, and I'm up here, you know, I collect old cars and I'm up here doing the old cars. So, yeah.
We're super grateful for your support, and this wouldn't be what it is today without you. Thank you. So the challenges of Bitcoin hubs. They're expensive to build. They are expensive to operate and maintain. And there's limited business models. What are you going to do on the base layer? Mine, exchanges, wallets, payment processors, venture funding, lending, custodial stuff. Education, monetization is not a thing. It's not there yet. We're only at 4%. I'll show you in a second. There's a few seats over here if you guys want to sneak in. I see you guys over here. It's good to see you. And I have some slides. I'm going to kind of go forward and backward. And there's also low demand. No one even knows, Bitcoin's not even that popular. It's popular to us, and it's a balancing act. And I want to go back to this balancing act. Everyone has a different idea what this place is, and it's crazy. And it needs to be constructive and productive. But I have to get a lot of work done before I come here because someone walks through that door every single day, which is great, which is open and awesome, and they don't know what it is. So we'll go there in a second. We'll come back. So just real quick on monetizing education, Bitcoin functions like a public good or a digital commodity. I mean, it's the base layer. Monetization happens on the higher layers through ancillary services, not the actual protocol. And it's great because it's decentralized, it's open source, it's trustless, so it's kind of great, but it causes challenges having hubs. And then as mentioned about the demand, Americans, this is just a recent thing from Gallup I pulled up, Americans' perception of best long-term investment is still real estate, 37%, and 23% is gold. Oh, here's 60% right there, 16% stocks and mutual funds. Right? It's pretty crazy. I mean, and cryptocurrency, that old word there is 4%. That doesn't say just Bitcoin. So we've got a long way to go. I'm going to go back to something really quick, and I asked him to come here today because he just walked through the door yesterday. Brenton's here. He's back. He's somewhere back here. Older gentleman came here, and he said, I just went to Stefan's meetup, maybe once or twice, and there he is. Thanks for coming. And he said, I can't buy Bitcoin. My country, I'm Aussie, but I've lived in Thailand for 3 years. My girlfriend's been here, she's 3 years. My phone number's not Aussie. I can't get the code. The exchange doesn't work. It's a pain in the ass. He's like, why bother? And when I heard, this is what he said to me the first 30 seconds I walk in the door. So when I hear someone say, why bother? I'm like, all right, why bother? This guy doesn't. And then I turn around like this and I hear him say, the money's broken. I'm like, he goes, they're inflating away our money and we're losing purchasing power. And I'm like, he's too close. He's too close. You take the time and you help him through it. And so, and really his obstacle was, it wasn't about, he understood Bitcoin. He sees this as, it was more about access. And we suggested, hey, you've been with your girlfriend for 3 years. You trust her, all this stuff. Why don't you buy $100 or whatever worth through her exchange through Binance? And he thought that was a brilliant idea, to get him started until he goes back to Australia, or actually New Zealand. Sorry, Kiwis and Aussies don't like that stuff. I see him. But as he was kind of walking through the building, he's like, what's the purpose of this? What's the purpose of this place? And I said, well, now we're going to use Binance and we're going to get you some Bitcoin. He's like, oh, yeah. So I asked him, please come back today. And anybody here who's really good at, articulating why Bitcoin in a really quick way or in a nice way. Brenton's here. He's in the black shirt back there, Brenton. And maybe you could help him further along or maybe share another idea of how he could purchase Bitcoin. But thanks for coming. Cool. So, and then thank you, Stefan. I mean, this is all big team effort. So the reality is physical hubs don't scale. In-person education efforts are meaningful, but they're slow. And even academic efforts are progressing, but slow compared to other distribution methods. This is so fucking awesome. The new Thai podcast, it came about because of this physical place. Just like tomorrow, we have a replica of today, only in Thai. And we had the gear, they got together, they raised their hands, like, why don't we start a Thai podcast? And Pan was one of them. So thank you very much for your contributions. And they started a podcast 2.5 months ago. In 2.5 months, the Thai podcast has 58,000 views, 1,600 subscribers, and it's already monetizing. So the podcast is currently producing 1 video a week at 4,000 videos, reaching that many people. That was enough to get me super fired up. I'm like, wait a minute, man. I'm doing everything slow. These guys are killing it. How could we scale this out and replicate it further? So again, you'll see here, they have 1,600 subscribers. I don't know, is Brad here? Brad's a podcaster. I don't see Brad here yet. But Falk is upstairs, and he is the engine behind this creativity, and it's totally changed our entire operation. Thank you very much for everything you do. It's just remarkable what you've done, and you're extremely creative, and you're extremely good at what you do. So we decided we started to keep Falk for as long as possible, you know. Here's some more metrics real quick. Just the last, you can just see here, April 23rd, April 24th, May 8th, 5,300, 5,200, 4,200. I don't know, man, these guys got the magic sauce, so I'm super pumped about it. So I said, okay, we got to keep on inspiring. You know, we got to keep working together to fuel this up. We're working with Right Shift. They're coming up. PU's here somewhere, or she's coming tomorrow. Again, I ran this over 90 days because they only started 2.5 months ago, and the options are 30, 60, and 90 to run it. So you can see here, this is their metrics. I mean, like, that's cool. I didn't think YouTube made money. I thought it was hard. It's very hard, but it's just showing like where it's already at. We decided to, instead of have Falk be an employee, we want to make him a partner. So we decided to revenue share. He asked us for a certain percentage. We came back and gave him more. That's what we do around this joint. So different levels of exposure. I see different levels of exposure as having different impacts with its own weight. For example, accredited university courses or Bitcoin certificate programs, they have the deepest impact, right? Workshops, hands-on, retained learning. This is also an interactive value. And lectures like what Stefan does and Phi does and I do when we can, they create awareness, but less retention. Meetups, they build community. They're sustaining long-term engagement. You know, the podcast, their views, downloads, and subscribers, they're massive, but they're lighter in engagement. So each form of exposure plays a unique role in growing awareness and deepening and understanding the strengthening of the movement. And one cool thing is like, our team is massively exposed to this. So when Falk or Neo are sitting in on a podcast, or Pen's at a podcast, and Phi's hosting it, they're learning like from all these people that have been around Bitcoin for so long. It's so crazy to see, like, you want to talk about orange pilling, people work here. I mean, it's Bitcoin, 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 Bitcoin events, Bitcoin this, what's the next thing we're doing, where are we going, why are we doing it, working on slides, preparing material for the city. It's like, it's really empowering. And yesterday, this week on Wednesday, Saifuddin was here. I'm not here, in Thailand, and the new Bitcoin Standard book came out. And I told the team, I'm like, when you read that book again, when you read a Bitcoin book again, like a couple of years later, it's even better. You're changing, it's changing. You see the world differently. It's really like, you know, you're further along. So I encourage them to read it again, because they'd be amazed from when they started with the Plan B courses and the Michael Saylor Academies and the Coursera's. You know, we work with Plan B Network, that they were kind of thrown down that, but now they're like, you read the books again, it's gonna change you. It's really helpful. So we know our strengths, we know where to concentrate our efforts. We're gonna continue to pursue academia and Bitcoin education in high schools and universities. We'll continue to educate large groups and have workshops and meetups and events. We'll continue to educate and inspire where it's most meaningful. But this month, we're launching a second podcast called Innovate Thailand. Why are we launching Innovate Thailand? Well, there's limitations to Bitcoin Chiang Mai, such as Bitcoiners. You're going to run out of them. And we need to meet the people where they are. And it's really great to do these small things, but let's use the energy of their podcast. So we're having a podcast featuring visionary guests sharing bold solutions to Thailand's greatest challenges. And the first 75% of the podcast will be about these solutions and their challenges and their solutions. And the last 25% is going to tie it into the upstream problem, the broken system, the monetary broken system that's causing all this fracture. So we're going to work closely with each host on understanding this person in their world if they're not a Bitcoiner, and elegantly, politely not come across like a hardcore Bitcoiner and shove it down their throats. Be respectful and polite and help them. And I'll show. I'm going to continue on this, but it's Thai only, because if you put an English person on a Thai podcast, the metrics dive deep. We're going to have Innovate Asia. That's the name of the project. A podcast featuring visionary guests sharing bold solutions to Asia's biggest challenges. This enables us to talk here in Asia. So we have a platform to speak on this topic. So we're going to have Innovate Asia in addition to Bitcoin Chiang Mai, Innovate Thailand. And as you heard earlier, Innovate Thailand, Innovate Asia, and Bitcoin podcast. Bitcoin Chiang Mai podcast. Innovate Burma, a podcast featuring visionary guests sharing bold solutions to Burma's biggest challenges. Burmese only. We have a large Burmese Bitcoin community here in Thailand, in Chiang Mai. In fact, what we did last one of these big ones, it was Burmese 40 people come on Friday, International Saturday, Thai Sunday. And that's why we're building this big space up here, so we could all bring them together. The Burmese and International could come together more because a lot more of them speak English. So we've got a great partner named Hugo. I don't think he's here. Is he here today? No, Hugo. Who'll be here probably tomorrow. And we sat down and talked about doing some work together, and he's super pumped. His team has this Financial Freedom Miramar page. We are going to help them break education into Burma. And the best part is they could do it from this building because they're here. So the economies of scale, you have us, the energy, the technical support, you have everything. You got the mics, you got the video, you got the setup. We do it every day anyway. We're going to do it. And we're going to do Innovate Laos. We've got strong partners in Vientiane. Tao messaged me just today. He's pumped, dude. You know, he's having 40 people at the Bitcoin Pizza Day party in Vientiane that want to learn about Bitcoin. The Lao Kip, when I was there 5 years ago, is now 50% less in purchasing power. They have a real problem, and we have a real solution. And stablecoins are a solution. They don't want to hold on to the Kip, and neither does Cambodia. They don't want to hold on to their currency. So this is we're supporting them, and we're super excited that they're now in our workspace too. So we're going to support them. You know, what is it? It's not really that expensive. This I don't know if I could do. I could click on it. I'll share with you just an overview of the document. But Innovate Asia. So I'll just kind of share with you the bold part. Innovate Asia, Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, Indonesia, Malaysia, Burma, Laos, and more. We're going to create a podcast network. It feels right. I mean, when I look at a map and I see, I can't get out. How do I get out of here? When I look at a map, it feels very similar to what I do in America. We work in California and Los Angeles. We work in San Francisco. And we deliver shit in New Jersey and New York and Boston and Massachusetts and Florida and Texas. I'm like, well, let's do this. Let's help be the leaders of Bitcoin in Southeast Asia and support them so strongly. How are we going to do that? we're also going to help them when they reach monetization, give them 100% of it. What does it cost to send the microphone and give these guys energy and get them the 3 tripods we started with that are 500 baht and their iPhones or their Androids and encourage them and pay the $20 for Riverside.fm platform for their podcasting? Come on, this makes too much sense. This is the best investment we can make. Imagine seeing Cambodia or Brunei has like 3,000 views on their podcast, and we're helping them. And it goes even further. I mean, like, you see, like, wait a minute. What about partners? What about international partners that believe in grassroots efforts of Bitcoin adoption, stablecoin adoption? Tether is a great example. We would be a great partner because we could help them actually make real money more than their monetization. We could help them if they're strong and they start doing really well, then we could get them sponsors. Who's going to be their first sponsor? We'll be their first sponsor until we get them feeling really good. Until like the equal market for Lao beer in Lao is the same price they pay for your metrics, your KPIs. We would say, okay, beer Lao, great one. And we would help them because we've got a large international network. So we would help them get partners. Now, if this doesn't work, it's the best use of our time. Like, that's it. Like, this is what we want to do every day. So I'm doing it, man. And we're gonna try our very best. And everybody wants to play. And we want to play with them. So we're building this place for everybody to come play. And I'm really excited to, next time we meet, a big one in September, to share with you how far along we came. The biggest question we get about this is, what do we gain from this? What do we gain from this? It drives me crazy, bro. So I asked Neo to help me create this meme of Edward Norton, right? What do you get? What do you get from this? So this just happened this week. We were on a podcast. I'm not going to say the names because I'm recording right now. And at the end of the podcast, they asked us, okay, so this is the meme. When you just finished a 90-minute podcast on empowering 8 billion people, and the host says, what do you gain from this? But my job is to be empathetic. My job is to sympathize and understand that we are educators and you just don't know. So, how do you answer this question? Well, what do you gain from opening the door for someone? What do you gain from making a child laugh? What do you gain from telling the truth? What do you gain from returning lost items? What do you gain from 7:30 in the morning on May 17th? You're on the treadmill running. You're in May, and you see a brand new kitten run out into the big highway, and you're on the treadmill and you're watching it. And Phi says, look. And you run outside and you try to make traffic go this way because the kitten's frightened and you want it to run into the building, not towards the traffic. What do you gain from saving a kitten's life and bringing it to Phi's farm and letting it live with the other 5 cats on a Saturday at 7:30 on May 17th? So what they're really asking is, how do you make money? How do you make money? You know? So we decided we would take our own advice. The same advice we've been giving you for the last 8 years. The same advice we've been giving everyone. Save in Bitcoin. Is this a novel concept or what? Man, my voice carries here. So I did this math, and this is real fun because we just had a great 2 years. I said, okay, let's take $100,000, right? On January 1st, after a 150% increase, it's worth $250,000, right? Obviously, you can't sell it into something less performing than that, so you left it in there for a year. And in 2024, Bitcoin appreciated 125%. So that $100,000 at the end of 2024 was $562,000. Year 3, here we are. If Bitcoin appreciates to $190,000, that 100% gain will turn the $100,000 into $1 million. This is just math. How do we fund this? You know? I mean, so, okay, so there you go. If it costs $50,000 US dollars, $55,000 to fund the salaries and keep the doors open without our programs and 3,000 baht pizzas like last night and stuff. Like, okay, well that's 5% of $1 million. Are you really worried when we've been compounding at 65% for the last 10 years? What are you worried about the 5% for? And that example doesn't exactly, that example is reckless. Because what did you do with the rest of the money? That's $100,000. Where's the rest of the money? Oh, you did the same thing you were telling everybody to do for the last 8 fucking years. So the 5% is whatever percent you guys decide to come up with. You can choose whatever numbers you want. But I mean, this is the best use of our time and money. I don't see how it isn't. So again, this is the very best use of our time. So this is in closing, and I'm doing pretty good on time. Got about 4 minutes left. This is the greatest opportunity of our lifetime. Help as many people as possible. We've got a 10-year window, and the earliest years are the most impactful years, right now. This is where you can really help people. Like I was telling Brenton yesterday, he said, why bother? And I also said, 4% adoption, imagine you get in right now and it goes to 8%. I mean, that's pretty good, doubling your position, your investment on adoption. It typically goes further. So we need smart, scalable digital distribution while simultaneously working with everyone else. Work with the leaders, work with the educators, work with the institutions, work with the banks, work with our friends, work with each of you, work with these big, fast-growing companies and help them. I mean, is that much too hard to ask? Do the right thing. Why do we do this? Why do you do this? So, in the final slide, I am deeply grateful for each of you and your contributions to moving Bitcoin forward and inspiring others to understand Bitcoin. And your work is truly impactful. Whether that's sharing knowledge in a book that you lend someone, a Michael Saylor podcast, a tweet, retweeting, encouraging someone, supporting someone that might need support. Just being in this building right now says so much to me. And I'm so inspired that you're working on what you're working on. And I'm so inspired to see such growth and people trying to help people understand this life-saving technology. So in my final words, all I could say really is thank you. Q&A, just real quick, if you have any questions, think about them. Happy to answer. There's a lot more smarter people in the room than me in here that can help answer. Our next meetup, our next big meetup will be in September. Phi and I are going to Plan B Network in Switzerland in June. And then I always see family in July. There'll probably be like 50 or 60, not 75 people, but in July, I won't be here. That's fine. You guys will be here. September, Human Rights Foundation's coming. They're really doing great work out there. So that'll be big, and then we'll have another big one in October. And obviously in November, we're going to have the Bitcoin Marathon and Festival. So we invite you to all of these things. If you don't have our contact, like we recently got deplatformed from Facebook. Our name's Bitcoin Learning Center, and we just literally shared the podcast and Bitcoin stuff, and we can't get it back. So see Neo, give us your Telegram, your WhatsApp, your line, however you want to communicate, because I individually reach out to you and remind you, because I want more people to come to these events. You'll see our growth next time. But yeah, so that's kind of that. I'm glad that we were able to do all of it in 1 hour so you could network, eat. There's beer on the second floor, and I did that because it's so cold on the second floor. So you guys could enjoy that. And also to spread us out. So as we grow, we want to distribute the weight in this building. So if anybody has any questions, I'm happy to answer. And that's really all I got, man. Yeah.
How could we help you? What are things that you need?
I'm so glad that you asked. You could help by however you think you is best to help. However, wherever you feel that you're strong or something that you're interested in, something that you want to do that you think is helpful, come help. Or share with us how to do it. You gotta just be a little bit thoughtful that our bandwidth's pretty maxed, but if you have like a pretty unique way that could help us, teach someone about Bitcoin, man. I really think that we could help 1 million people. I mean, I really didn't get a slide on it, but there's 525,000 minutes a year. And the podcast just started yesterday, and it's on pace to hit 200,000 in the first year. Imagine reaching a person a minute. Maybe it's someone that's a subscriber and they're watching it every video, but now that person's getting even stronger. So share the content. We live in Thailand. We're visitors. We can share with the local Thai that, or the Burmese that are oppressed, or the workers, a lot of the workers are Burmese. We're translating content for Burma now. You could help that way. You could help however you want. Start, a community, or tell us what you're thinking about, or, we're always open to hear it, and nothing is too little of importance. If you really want to help the people learn about Bitcoin and the revolutionary impact it has, just let us know what you want to do, and we're happy to see how we can help. Anyone else? All right, there's one more.
This year, do you have any volunteer event like last year you did?
Sure. So as we get closer to the large event in November, in August we'll start having. We're teaching local merchants that will be involved in the Bitcoin Marathon and Festival food stalls how to accept Lightning. Each one of them is going to have a accept Bitcoin flag. So we're going to be teaching them. And we're going to ask for a lot of volunteers that just want to guide people, in the Bitcoin. Kate's downstairs now, but there's a Bitcoin zone, a learning zone, and there's going to be way too many people for each one of us to individually help out. So we're going to have shirts for anybody that wants to volunteer. I'm so glad you asked. Our partner that does the shirts are going to have us get staff shirts, and we could all volunteer however possible. And also, they're getting a stage for higher government to come hear about it. We created this with the idea of if we build it, they will come. And now, if you don't speak on your position on Bitcoin in Thailand as an authority, it tells us something. If you do speak on it, it tells us something. So now, yesterday working in the government office, the big mayor was pumped. He's a Bitcoiner. That's literally a miracle. Okay, he wore a Bitcoin shirt. It's a miracle. And he was pumped up. He called Dr. Joe. Dr. Joe called Pi. Pi was busy teaching the rest of the staff. And he's like, this is the energy we need right now to reach the minister, the finance minister, and give them the 200-person building at the park to talk about it. Talk about their position on stablecoins, digital assets, and Bitcoin. So we literally manifested this. It's just incredible. Guys, there's beer on the second floor. There's beer on the first floor. There's beer in the fridge. Nubo, last one. What do you got?
What's up with the shirts? Are you going to sell the shirts?
No, we don't like to sell shit here, man. You want a shirt? Let me know. I'll get you a shirt. All right, beer on the second floor, beer on the first floor.